This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
You've got it locked and loaded to the Sunday, April 26th edition of the Press Box. Happy Sunday, everybody. Naughty and your company right up until 1 p.m. We will be joined in short order by Mega. And, of course, Statboy Sancho will be joining us in short order to chop it up on this Sunday edition. And listen, let me tell you, we got lots to talk about. We got Major League Baseball, NBA playoffs, and, of course, in the second hour, the NFL draft. We got lots to get into, and we got some local info as well that we'll be getting to you. But like I said, this is the Press Box, and, of course, you know we are being brought to you by the following sponsors. The Island Game. If you want to play and win, multiple ways to play, multiple ways to win. The Island Game. The game you know, the friends you trust, and the Island Game always reminds you to play responsibly. Also being brought to you by Michelob Ultra and Jimmy's Wines and Spirits. KFC Nassau, Green Parrot, Margaritaville PI, and Harborside Marine. And like I said, it is Sunday. We got lots to talk about. Initially, we'll get into baseball. And then, of course, we'll get into the NBA playoffs. Got several games going on today. Some series could be wrapped up today. The Brooms could be out in some cases as well. We'll talk about that. And then, like I said, in the second hour, we'll get into the NFL. Lots to talk about. The NFL draft, the undrafted free agents post-NFL draft, potential trades coming up in the future now that the draft is over. What do some of these picks mean to the franchises? And obviously, we'll give you our grades on all 32 NFL teams draft. We'll give them a grade, you know, what we think they did. But let's start off with baseball. And that's where we need to jump in. Let's look at the scores from last night in Major League Baseball. And there was a ton of games on tap yesterday. You had the Red Sox 17-1 winners over the Orioles. They fire the manager. Statboy is in the building. My apologies, Statboy.
What's up?
Still. Good morning. How are you, my brother?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. We're talking baseball. How ironic. The Red Sox fired Joey Cora yesterday, and then they score 17 runs after he leaves.
Insane. Shows that they needed to change.
But the Red Sox 17-1 winners over the Red Sox. The Mariners 11-9 winners over the Cardinals. Blue Jays 5-3 winners over the Guardians. Giants 6-2 winners over the Marlins. The Rockies and the Mets were postponed. The Rays, 6-1 winners over the Twins. Nationals, 6-3 winners over the White Sox. Padres, 6-4 winners over the Diamondbacks. Rangers, 4-3 winners over the A's. The Royals, winners over the Angels. Yankees, 8-3 winners over the Astros. Pirates, 6-3 winners over the Brewers. The Reds, 9-2 winners over the Tigers. Phillies, 8-5 winners over the Braves. And the Dodgers, 12-4 winners over the Cubs. And now if we look at Major League Baseball, didn't we say a week ago we got to give it a couple of weeks? We really got to, let them play for a month or so.
Yep,
and then because last week the Yankees were in a swoon. But if you look over now, the Yankees have won 8 straight games, 9-1 in their last 10, and they're now 18-9, tied for the best record in baseball.
Yes, they are. We're 18-9. The Guardians are now 15-13. In that tough division, the Dodgers have backslid a little bit too and are 18-9. The Padres are actually first in their division at
Mega will be
18-8.
chiming in, but Mega will let everybody know the Braves are 19-9. Don't
Yes,
mess with
the
it.
Braves are 19-9. The Reds
last year, this
18 and
time,
9.
they were like 9-19, correct?
Yeah, they were because they had lost the first 15 games in a row.
They were horrible.
So they were terrible, and now they're 19 and 9 to start this year. Not injured, not playing bad. They're starting well. The Yankees, who were struggling a bit to start the season, now we're 18 and 9. We're stacking wins, and we're getting well out ahead in front of 500. And as for the Dodgers and the Padres and the Reds, and I'm really surprised by the Reds' record because they're a team that you wouldn't have anticipated to be, 18 and 9 to start, but they're playing good ball. They have good players. They have great players, and they're doing their thing.
All right, real quick, let me get the contact information out there. All right. If you want to chime in and be part of the conversation today on the Press Box, feel free to chime in. And like I said, text lines powered by BTC, 422-GR96. That's 422-4796. Phone lines open in New Providence, 323-6232, 325-4259, 325-4316. Toll free in any one of the Family Islands, 242-300-5720, 242-300-5720. Stream us live, take us wherever you want to go. GuardianTalkRadio.com. That's GuardianTalkRadio.com. All right, now that we've gotten that out of the way, we got to look at the Red Sox stat, boy. 10 and 17. Absolutely in the gutter. A lot of money spent in the offseason. A lot of high hopes for that Red Sox squad this year.
Be careful.
Yeah, the draft, sorry. And they'll always be the Redskins to me. All right? But the Red Sox, as a Yankee fan, I love them to see them down in the gutter. I think it's awesome.
I don't even know why we're talking about it because I'm happy about it.
But we have to do it
at the bottom.
We have to do it for journalistic integrity. So we need to talk about that swoon, that 10 and 17. So much so they fired their manager, Joey Cora. All right? And now they got a new manager, obviously, in there. But this was coming. I mean, the rumblings were there. And let's go to the clip from Major League Baseball and see what the fallout is going to be from the Joey Cora firing. I know Mr. Producer lining that up for us now, so we get to that. But where did the Red Sox go? Do you think they recover at 10 and 17 with a new manager, a new skipper, a new philosophy? Or do they go and, continue to go with Cora had in place?
Well,
if that's the case, then why'd you fire Cora?
I would hope that they continue to play terrible. I hate the Red Sox. I hate Boston. I hate everything about them. But I can never count a team out because I've been watching baseball for too long. In 2019, the Washington Nationals started the season at 19 and 31 and went on to win the World Series. And that might be one of the craziest midseason turnarounds on the way to a championship I've ever seen in my life. Not saying that this is going to happen for Boston because it won't, but I'll never count a team out this early into the season, knowing that they can still make a run even at like that type of a record and make a run to the playoffs or be competitive at around 500. So maybe this change that they made early in the season is what they need. Maybe they can make a turnaround. Like you said, they just destroyed Baltimore. It was 17-1. So I can never count a team out. But with the money they spent and the moves that they were making in the offseason, it does seem disappointing, but it's smart that they made the move now. So good on them. I hope they continue to lose and be terrible, but I can't count them out. So we'll just have to see how it goes. And I think they could make a little push, but I don't want them to.
Let's go to ESPN and see what they have to say about the Cora firing and what it means for the Red Sox moving forward.
What has been the short reaction after the Red Sox fired Alex Cora just 27 games into this season?
There is complete shock in the industry. Look, I was getting phone calls till after 2 o'clock in the morning this morning, people wondering what happened, because Alex Cora is viewed as being one of the top managers in baseball. This would be like Sean McVay getting fired in the NFL. As one person said to me, how do you make it better by firing one of the best managers? But clearly there was a disconnect between Alex and Craig Breslow, who's the head of baseball operations, and some of Alex's staff members, including Veritek, and some of Breslow's staff members. And rather than try to work it out on the fly, they decided to move on, and they fired Alex and a whole bunch of coaches. Look, the Red Sox have had this Game of Thrones things going on for better part of more than a decade now. And moving forward, I don't think there's any question. This is Craig Breslow's team, and their success and failure moving forward is on Craig Breslow.
Goodness.
Including the question of whether or not they can hit enough home runs to have success this year.
Holy smokes. That picture shared shortly afterwards. See Tech, who's a legend with the Boston Red Sox franchise, giving the thumbs down, but all smiles across the handful of men who were relieved of their duty. Cora led Boston to 620 wins during his tenure as manager, including a World Championship in 2018. What do you think is next now for former Red Sox skipper Alex Cora?
Yeah, he's got choices because of his stature within the game and because of his contract. He's less than halfway through a 3-year, $21.75 million deal. And so you can bet every time an opening comes up as we move forward, Alex Cora's name is going to be mentioned. Already there's speculation that maybe he'd be a fit in Philadelphia. Dave Dombrowski's head of baseball operations for the Philadelphia Phillies, worked with Alex in Boston. Kyle Schwarber has a great relationship with Alex, but there'll be other opportunities. It might be Alex will want to wait until after this season. You know that there are going to be people lined up to talk with him when they have openings that pop up.
I am waiting in the wings, Sancho. I mean, if the Yankees have another playoff swoon, and we got to get rid of Boongie, I think Alex Cora, if he's waiting in the wings for office, he'd look good in pinstripes.
I wouldn't mind it at all, but he's a former Red Sox, so it would take some time to get adjusted to. But there are plenty of struggling teams who
So
can
is
use a guy
Babe Ruth,
like him.
buddy. So is Babe Ruth.
Fair enough. I can't argue with that. But there are a lot of teams who might need an Alex Cora right now. Like we talked about the Phillies a little bit earlier. They had an 8-5 win over a team, but they're 9-18 to start the season with all that talent on their roster.
Well,
The
listen,
Blues are
Joey Cora.
13-13.
Another landing spot for Joey Cora potentially could be the New York Mets.
The Mets. That's another
Because they're
place that Cora could
stinking
go
up the
to.
joint right now. Mucho dinero spent on payroll, and just like the Phillies, 9-17, 9 games out already.
The Kansas City Royals could use a guy like him. They're at
Well, they
10-17
make it.
with
Well, hold
a ton
on.
of talent.
The Royals could use him with a ton of talent, agreed. But the Royals are making a little move now, so let's see how it plays out. Because the Royals have a young manager that they brought up through their farm system, who they're very high on. So
Fair
I
enough.
think they can give him as much run as they can, because he knows a lot of these kids coming up through their pipeline. However, Alex Cora is Alex freaking Cora. You know what I
He's
mean?
a great coach.
One of the best
Great
in baseball.
manager.
And then now that makes us look over to the Mets. What about Carlos Mendoza?
No, they're 9-17 to start. They're not good. They're
Let's
not good.
and Mr. Producer has it lined up. Here, let's go back to ESPN and have a look at the fate. What might be Carlos Mendoza's fate? He's definitely on a hot seat. And with Alex Cora being fired, could the Mets be waiting in the wings to make a move? Let's go to that clip courtesy of ESPN.
You know the drill. Someone's going to get the lion's share of this blame in New York, as they should. But Carlos Mendoza, the manager, he knows that better than anyone. Should he be to blame for some of this?
Well, let's put it this way. The easiest thing that the Mets could do right now is fire Carlos Mendoza. Right. And if this homestand, where they're going to be playing 9 games against teams in Minnesota, Washington, teams that aren't good, frankly, or are not expected to be good. If this does not go well, then I think Carlos Mendoza really can be in trouble. And some Mets fans would argue he should be there. Lost 11 in a row. This is a team with the second highest payroll in Major League Baseball, with a star in Juan Soto and Francisco Lindor. Pitching staff, that should be better.
Yeah.
A lot of this is about the construction of the team, though. And let's not forget that they completely flipped the team this offseason. Pete Alonso, gone. Brandon Nimmo, gone. Jeff McNeil, gone. And the players that they've brought in, whether it's Bo Bichette, there are plenty, frankly, everyone that they've brought in at this point. Marcus Semien, Jorge Polanco, they just haven't performed.
There's a lot of money out there for the Mets. They spent it. They're not getting the investment and the return on their investment. Mendoza does have the clubhouse's public support. Francisco Lindor said Mendoza is doing a, quote, fantastic job. This is not on him. It comes down to the players. So at least they're saying the right things.
Now you have to look at what the Mets organization is saying, all right? When you quote-unquote have an organization saying quote-unquote the right things, that's kind of ominous when somebody's job is hanging in the balance. I mean, how many times have we seen it before? Coach gets vote of confidence on Friday, And after the game on Sunday, he's fired.
Yeah, that's a common thing. That's why you can never take it at face value when you have to take those types of things with a grain of salt, because that does not reflect the true intentions and opinions of the front office when it comes to a coach. They could be done with you and they could say that you're the guy and they could fire you right away.
All right, couple of tidbits from around Major League Baseball. Obviously, Cora was fired yesterday. Wheeler strong in his return, as Phillies end their skid. And we're talking about Zach Wheeler threw 5 strong innings on Sunday. Could that be the turning point for the Phillies there, Sancho, that they're getting some players back that were injured?
Yes, that could
Still
that
early
could
in
help
the
them in a
season.
big way, because they've started out a little injured, been a little shaky. But I don't know if the window for Philly is completely open anymore. They went to the World Series in 2022. They lost to Houston. They went to the Championship Series in 23. They lost in 7 to the Diamondbacks. 24, I can't remember if they lost to the Padres or the Dodgers. I can't quite remember. But 25 last year, they just lost to the Dodgers in the second round and blew the game when they could have taken a game in the series, and they just blew every game. So I don't know if their window is completely open anymore as it once was.
All right. Yeah, that's true too. And when you're talking about trading Bryce Harper, you might be looking to shed some salary and do some rebuilding, soft rebuilding, not heavy rebuilding. Let's look at some injuries. Stanton out, calf injury again. Sits as the Yankees now contemplate putting him on the injured reserve list, an IR stint. Also, the Reds, they placed designated hitter Suarez on the 10-day disabled list with an injury. And Phillips, Brandon Phillips agreed to a 1-day contract with the Cincinnati Reds to retire a Red. He did have an illustrious career with them. And, I like to see when teams do that for somebody who's played a long time for them. Started the career, they bounced around at the tail end of their career, but everybody knows them.
Yeah.
As synonymous with that team. So I think that was classy. I think it was well done. And,
it's class.
Good for him. Now, let's look at the power rankings. Major League Baseball power rankings. Then we'll get to the break. Flip side of the break, we'll be talking NBA. And again, these can change from week to week because it is still early in the season. But we'll do the top 20 in Major League Baseball. All right?
That's a lot of teams.
At number 20, the Oakland A's. 13-12.
That's high for them.
They're next week, they won't be in the conversation. These are your early pace setters who won't be there. Minnesota Twins, 19. Record is 12-12. Number 18, the Philadelphia Phillies with their 8-16 record. People still have faith in the Phillies.
This obviously was like a couple days ago because now they're 9-18, but not ain't much change about the ranking.
Going into the games, this is when the games were going into this weekend's games. Number 17, the St. Louis Cardinals. Number 18, the Toronto Blue Jays.
Number
16, the Toronto Blue Jays. Number 15, the Baltimore Orioles. Number 14, the Tampa Bay Rays. Number 13, the Seattle Mariners. Number 12, the Arizona Diamondbacks. Number 11, the Texas Rangers. Number 10, the Cleveland Guardians. Number 9, the Pittsburgh Pirates. Number 8, the Detroit Tigers. Number 7, the Milwaukee Brewers. Number 6, the Cincinnati Reds. Surprising. Number 5, the Chicago Cubs. Number 4, the San Diego Padres. Number 3, the New York Yankees. Number 2, the Atlanta Braves. Number 1, the LA Dodgers. Now, hold on. Yankees got a better record than the Dodgers, and they won behind the Braves. So they need to be in front of the Dodgers in this.
Right. Well, I agree with that. But they're ranking them based on them being the back-to-back champions. Like I said, that's going to give so much prestige and clout to the Dodgers this season. They got to have the same record as a lot of good teams, but people will take the Dodgers over them. And I get where they're coming from.
And there's a lot of party. There is a lot of party in baseball this year.
There are 4 AL East teams in the top 20, according to ESPN. Baltimore, Tampa, Toronto, and New York.
Yeah. Very, very, very competitive bunch over there. And then you look in the National League as well. Dodgers, don't sleep on the Braves getting an early start. Normally when they get off to a good start, they're there for the year.
Yep.
Watch out for that Cincinnati Red team, too. Quietly, they put some pieces in place there, Sancho.
I see that.
And that Pittsburgh Pirate team, too. Young with good players.
Trying to build around Skeens and O'Neal Cruz.
Correct.
Yeah.
O'Neal Cruz.
O'Neal Cruz.
Skeens, and then they brought up the shortstop the other day, too. Connor, whatever his name is. And he's playing at a very high level. So Pittsburgh is a sleeper there, too. All right, let's get to the first break. Flip side of the break, we'll be getting into the NBA. We'll be talking NBA. We'll be getting you ready for the 12 o'clock hour. We will be talking all things NFL, the NFL draft post-mortem, undrafted free agents, potential trades coming up. But like I said, in the meantime, though, we will take a quick break, and we will get back at you right here on the Press Box, all brought to you, of course, by The Island Game, Michelob Ultra and Jimmy's Wines and Spirits, KFC Nassau, Green Parrot, Margaritaville PI, and Harborside Marine.
KFC got that crispy onions crunch, take a bite, it's a smile. Sweet onion sauce drip, happy running down my side. Pepper jack cheese, bring a little playful wow. Burrito bun soft like a cloud on this ride. KFC get chicky with it, hey. Taste the sweet side of things. Every single bite, so lit it. Got my whole crew doing that thing. Crispy onion, sweet onion sauce, pepper jack cheese going on.
Introducing the new Sweet Chicky Chicken Sandwich at KFC.
Let's get chicky with it.
Foreign commercial banks have been closing across our islands. For thousands of Bahamians, our country's post office savings banks are a lifeline, providing safe and secure banking. But Michael Pintard says,
we will abolish the bank through the post office system.
That's a risk Bahamians can't afford. That's why the Prime Minister is making post office savings banks stronger to protect Bahamian families and small businesses who rely on them. Paid for by the PLP.
Play with Island Games. We making dreams come true. Play with Island Games. We paying more out to you. Don't mind the noise in the market. You getting cash in your pocket. 'Cause Island Games is spicy and spicy is tradition. So when you play Island Games, we putting Bahamians first. Guaranteed to pay. Island Games. We like them other jokers. We've been here from the start. From the bike to computer. Island Games. We gonna make your dreams come true. We playing with Island Games.
Always on the go? Missed a show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to GuardianTalkRadio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
This is Guardian Radio 90.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
We're back at you on the Sunday, April 26th edition of the Press Box. Getting ready to talk some NBA action. Start by, we got lots to talk about from the NBA. We got games on tap for today. Let's have a look at today's games. And then obviously we'll get into yesterday's games. On tap today, you got the Cavaliers and the Raptors. Cavs lead 2-1. Spurs and the Trailblazers. Spurs lead that series 2-1. Celtics on the road against the Sixers. The Celtics lead that series 2-1. And Lakers looking to wrap things up against the Rockets, up 3-0. And last week, if you asked me with all the injuries I had, I didn't have the Lakers doing well in this series. But obviously, the injury to Kevin Durant and JJ Redick coaching his behind off, LeBron not freaking himself out,
playing great.
Playing all great all around ball. Hachimura and Kennard cannot be denied, as well as Marcus Smart.
Listen, I respect you admitting the truth and you're saying you're wrong. And you know what I smell? I smell a sweep. I smell some brooms. I smell some brooms. And I stuck by the Lakers, and I knew we could beat this Rockets team. They can't mess with us on their best day.
And scores from last night, and we're going to go to the ESPN recap and breakdown because we did have an injury to Anthony Edwards last night. We'll talk more about that.
We also had Dante DiVincenzo, who was playing great ball. He's torn his Achilles, so he is out for them.
Completely out. All right, we got the Magic 113-105 winners over the Pistons. And who called the upset? Who said if there's a team that could upset it? Who called it?
You've been calling them because they both have history playing against them. They both are trying to get out of the first round, and they haven't gotten out of the first round for a minimum of 16 years. For the Pistons, it's been 18 years. So you've seen something with this Magic team that I haven't, and I can admit I've been wrong with that so far. The series is not over, but I don't know how.
They're just scrappy and don't go away.
I don't know how they're maintaining this level of performance against Detroit, who was a 60-win team in the regular season. And Detroit is now fully healthy. I don't understand. Because Detroit was coming back late in the game, but then Orlando went on their little run to end the game out.
Orlando is better than a lot of people think, man.
They are. The East is a lot better top to bottom than a lot of people think. It's just the West is just so tough that you kind of, it gets lost, so.
But now if you look in the West, though, the Thunder look like they're ready to put the Suns to bed.
Well, yeah, I already told people that people are starting to hate on the Thunder because the NBA needs a villain. It's going to be good for the league. And people are like, oh, I would love to see the Suns upset the Thunder. That's not happening. Come on, you got to live in reality.
I don't see it happening.
That series is over, whatever they play Sunday or Monday. They're going to sweep them. And the Lakers are going to sweep the Rockets. That'll be your only two sweeps in the first round. And so,
then the Lakers have to play the Thunder, correct?
Yeah, we have to play the Thunder in the next round, which hopefully we get Austin Reeves and Luka back for.
But that's still no guarantee because they're coming off injury. And they're going to be expected to play at a high level. That Thunder team is no joke.
Well, no, they're the defending champions. They're not to be taken lightly. I am nervous.
I'm just trying to be a realist in all of this, man.
I still got to roll with my team, have faith in my team, even in the eyes of doom. If we could be fully healthy, we've got a puncher's chance, and sometimes that is all you need.
Another good series taking shape. The Hawks and the Knicks. That's a slobber knocker.
Which is 2-2 right now, and I'm surprised the Knicks have taken it this far. Mike Brown really concerned me with a lot of his statements about, it's a 7-game series.
Mike Brown can't coach.
And he was talking about, what did he say? He said something, I can't guarantee that we'll win it. As a coach, I don't like what he's been saying. I don't.
All right. But let's go to ESPN right now with the full breakdown of yesterday's games, the ramifications, and some highlights of today's games. And then we'll jump back in and talk some more NBA. And Sancho and I will go over who in the NBA. All right, let's get to the phone lines first, though. Before we do that, let's go to the phone lines. We got Muff on the line. What's going on, Muff?
Yeah, what's going on, Jack and Joe Buck? Naughty and Stock. Naughty and Stock. What's going on, Stock?
Everything good, man. How you doing, Muff?
Man, everything blessed. No, I know you all see the alley-oop from father to son, the father and son alley-oop.
I was waiting if he was going to acknowledge it.
Yeah,
I love that. That was a great
finally have a LeBron Bronny highlight. We could get that out of the way.
Right. Yeah, but Naughty, I agree with Shaq. Ain't no law in the NBA that when the last seconds in the game, if you're up by 20, 30, or 50, you can't shoot the ball. So Joker stop freaking himself out.
Yeah,
ain't no law.
Man, that's been a once.
Ain't no law. I see fellas them dribble the ball out. They up by 20. They dribble the ball out the last second. They take a 3-pointer and they score that. They just do that over and over. Tell Joke, and he fooling with the right person. Daniels, that's the right person he fooling with. Now, I agree with you all. The broom coming out for Phoenix. The broom coming out for Houston. Yeah, the Nuggets, they cook. They in trouble.
Yeah, the Nuggets can't win this series.
Yeah, the Detroit look like they in trouble too. Well, the Raptors come back looking a little, at least they win one game. But you have some 4 or 5 good games today. But Noddy, I see y'all looking, y'all bounce back. You for real, but the Yankees bounce back, man. Y'all tied with the Braves right now. And they say that, but y'all win a couple well games on the road now. Y'all bouncing back good. And another thing, Noddy, before I go, because I can hang up and then y'all can talk about it. Noddy, I see y'all got Downs, eh? You think Downs can stop the Downs? And then y'all got Malik Lawrence. Y'all get a couple well good draft pick, man. Y'all looking good. But y'all ain't looking as good as the Dolphins. The Dolphins got better picks than y'all.
I want you to call back in the 12 o'clock when we talking NFL.
Okay, all right, Bridget. All right, you in stock. Yeah, all right. Okay, keep up the good way.
All right, let's get to ESPN right now with this clip. It's covering the Minnesota series with Denver, and it's also covering the Knicks and the Hawks series, all right? And then we'll be back to do our game picks for the day, and then we'll get you ready for the 12 o'clock hour, and we'll get you ready to... As a matter of fact, Mr. Producer, let it all play. That'll cover everything, all right? All right? It's a good, solid clip from ESPN, but to get everybody caught up as to exactly where we need to be going into today's games, coming in from yesterday's games, and some of the ramifications that today's games hold moving forward, all right? Here's ESPN with the full breakdown of yesterday's NBA recap.
Timberwolves with Minnesota coming in, leading the series 2-1. Aaron Gordon would return to the lineup in this one, but it's a war of attrition, and the Timberwolves would lose a couple guys. Dante DiVincenzo, watch him here, goes after the ball, plants that right foot, and immediately grabs at the Achilles. You see it there, the ripple, the telltale ripple in the sock, terrible to see. It is an Achilles tear. That's been confirmed for DiVincenzo. His season is over. And then a little bit later, Anthony Edwards missing on the layup. Tim Hardaway Jr. to Jamal Murray on the break. Nuggets up 3 at that point, late first. Cam Johnson driving. Edwards challenges, comes down hard and awkwardly. And this looked gruesome as well. The left knee. Oh
my goodness, so hard to watch.
Ant leaves, ruled out for the rest of the game. No further word on the severity of that injury. Timberwolves down 4 at the half. The Wolves starting backcourt out. Enter Ayo Dosunmu, who just had one of those magical nights. Jokic, the turnover. Julius Randle on the break. It's a party in Minnesota. Timberwolves up 4 at the end of 3, and they totally flipped this game. Fourth quarter. That smothering Timberwolves defense forces the turnover. Dosunmu, the bunny at the other end. That's 30 for Ayo coming off the bench. Timberwolves up by 8. And then one more time, Dosunmu, the floater off the window. Didn't just have a playoff career high, but the biggest point total of his entire NBA career. How about the 3, which for all intents and purposes ended this one, put Minnesota up by 12. One more. Dosunmu comes off the bench to score 43 points in 42 minutes. He's the star. And then ugliness at the end. The Nuggets have basically stopped playing. Jaden McDaniels breaks an unwritten rule and cashes in at the other end. And Jokic is furious, comes right down and shoves him. Those two square off. And then guys coming off that Nuggets bench. You heard it on the telecast. The NBA, the league's going to have to adjudicate this, see if suspensions are in order. Timberwolves win game 4, 3-1. Take the series lead there as the series now swings back to Denver. Take a look at the Timberwolves and what they've done without Anthony Edwards. Left the game tonight 9-2 against teams that missed the playoffs, without 7 against teams that made the playoffs, but they certainly played well tonight. No Edwards, no Dante DiVincenzo for the balance of this game, and Minnesota with a convincing win nonetheless.
For more, I'm joined by ESPN NBA analyst Chiney Ogwumike. Chiney, despite 2 enormous injuries to the Timberwolves starting backcourt, of course, the hyperextension to Ant's knee and the Achilles injury to Dante DiVincenzo, the T-Wolves still beat the Nuggets thanks to an heroic performance by Ayo Dosunmu. What do you make of what we saw from Ayo and the Timberwolves?
So just as the game was winding down, I was like, oh, it's over. And then, no, we had the little bit of a scuffle at the end. Are you not entertained? This is playoff basketball at the highest level. And the last thing that we want are injuries and suspensions affecting the talent on the floor. But let's not miss the main story here, which is Ayo Dosunmu just really rising up, understanding that when you're down, you're all everything player. In Anthony Edwards, it can motivate your team. It can galvanize your squad. And I've noticed over the course of this playoffs, this team has taken on his personality on both ends of the floor. How remarkable for Ayo to have 43 points. He shot 13 for 17 from the field, 5 for 5 from 3. Perfect from the free throw line, 12 for 12. In the playoffs, it's a series. It's a chess match. It's not checkers. And you always need an element of surprise in order to win a series. He was that element of surprise, but we shouldn't have been, because if you look at his numbers, he's had big games in this series. And so to see him step up in this stage, especially when a number of their stars have gone down, it was honestly inspiring. It was full of heart. They played like that on both ends of the floor. I mean, their bench, Naz Reid, gave them 17 points as well. Every player for the Timberwolves is giving their all on all possessions. To me, it was great basketball. I hope the suspensions don't hamper what can happen moving forward. And we wish those Timberwolves stars also health as well.
Right, because as you mentioned, such an inspiring performance by the Timberwolves, who are now up 3-1 over the Nuggets. But, you know, the possibility of suspensions and injuries impacting who's on the court for Game 5. We know DiVincenzo will be out for the foreseeable future with that Achilles. We don't yet know how severe that knee injury was for Anthony Edwards. But, Janae, if he can't come back, how do you see the rest of this series shaping up?
I'm not going to doubt the T-Wolves, not at this point, especially with the edge, the margin. They have a bigger margin for error based off of the head start that they've created just by playing hard and playing together. Now, if they advance in this series, it's going to be much more difficult if Anthony Edwards has to miss extended amount of time, because what's lurking on the other side, likely the San Antonio Spurs, and hopefully Victor Wembanyama when he gets back from concussion protocol. And then you look at the bigger scheme of the West, Oklahoma City Thunder, they're dealing without J-Dub, and what happened? Oh, Shea just casually having 40-plus, picking up the slack. The West is stacked, and they will need their top dogs, literally the Timberwolves, on the floor to be able to compete. But right now, this is a great day for them to be able to get a win in very difficult circumstances.
New on SportsCenter, here's Timberwolves head coach Chris Finch.
Chris, you guys lose two guys to big injuries. Just what did you see from your group collectively to dig deep and pull this one out?
Might be the most proud of our team all season, just fighting through everything we did. We knew that they were going to come out with a super spirited and sharp effort, which they certainly looked good in the first. And, losing those two guys was really tough emotionally for the guys. Regrouped well. I thought the key was just hanging in there until we get to halftime, kind of reset things, figure out what we have and who we have going forward. We just, we're able to find our offensive rhythm. I mean, Ayo was just out of this world, man, and just play after play after play. And we really had a team effort. I mean, everybody chipped in, whether Mike, played whatever he played, 20 minutes, even Kyle's minutes, TJ hits a three. And that's what you need, man. I'm just really proud of these guys. Can't say it enough.
What are you learning about Ayo just as a competitor, as just a will-to-win guy that, delivers the way that he was able
he's a gamer. I mean, he's really a gamer. Like, he just has met the moment since he's gotten here. The beginning of the series, you could see him trying to feel his way through it. Obviously Game 3, his aggressiveness, and he just kept with it. And, goes places quick, unbelievable finisher, makes big shots, not afraid. So just was going to ride him until, he collapsed, really. So,
Chris, you said kind of get to halftime and regroup. What was it like at halftime, and kind of what was the collective mood throughout the second half as you saw?
I think the mood was, obviously a little somber, just with with the guys being out. But the film was good, super pointed. We needed to know what we needed to get back to doing, and they were playing really well. They came out here sharp. They made a couple good adjustments, and we had to adjust to that. So, all credit to ET and Pablo and those guys for really kind of sorting out the game plan as we went through it.
New on SportsCenter, Nuggets coach David Adelman at the podium.
David, what do you think happened to this team's competitive spirit? Where did it go?
You don't think we were competitive tonight?
The last 3 games, it doesn't seem like it to me. Do you think your group's
Yeah, I do. I thought we were very competitive tonight. And
Okay.
again, I think it's hilarious that the narrative is offense doesn't matter. You shoot 24% in the second half, it's hard to win. I thought our guys played their ass off throughout that first half. I thought they maintained a physicality about them. You give those guys credit. I mean, 2 guys off their bench had 60 points combined. I don't think that's from competitive spirit issues. That's 2 guys having a great night and us having a really tough second half offensively. The 9 turnovers for 13 points at 24%. That's not a competitive thing. That's just having a really tough second half offensively with a chance to break the game open in the third quarter. That's how I saw it.
All right, let's move on to Knicks Hawks earlier today in Atlanta. Knicks down 2-1 in the series. They needed something, and they would get it from all their guys. Karl Anthony Towns drives, finds Jalen Brunson over there in the corner. Knicks with the early lead. Hawks come right back. They swing it around. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, other corner, Hawks up 14-13. Then Brunson going to take Alexander-Walker up and over. Nifty. Knicks up 7 after 1. Quarter 2 now. Cat gets it outside, puts it on the floor. Oh, he held on to that pivot foot, I think. Sort of. Tough bucket there. And then OG Anunoby really had a nice game. Step back 3, splash. Knicks up 14 at the half. Been playing some tight games and losing against Atlanta, but not on this day. Although trouble here, Brunson gets caught in the double team and rolls his ankle. You see it again right there, that right foot, rolled it on Josh Hart's foot. So he leaves for a bit, goes back to the locker room. And then the Hawks try to make a run. Jose Alvarado, though. Grand Theft Alvarado with the pick. And then Cat to OG. It's all working for the Knicks. Less than a minute later, Towns to Alvarado, who was money from outside. Knocked down 4 of those. Knicks up by 13. And then here comes Brunson back on the floor. And he hands it off to Cat, who steps into his 3. Knicks up 21 after 3. They had that look. Fourth quarter. Towns and Anunoby. Cat had a triple-double. OG had 22 points and 10 boards. And then one more. Brunson, kind of a muted game. 19 points, but it was plenty. Knicks go on to win 114-98 to tie the series at 2 games apiece.
The way we played on both sides of the ball. Like I said, going back to the second half of, or the fourth quarter of Game 3, the way we've been able to do that these past 5 quarters is how we got to play, especially against them. I mean, like I said before, the things that they're doing and how they're playing is great. You know, we just have to be able to continue what we're doing as we did the past 5 quarters.
In a pivotal game like tonight, we needed to be our best. I thought we not only met the challenge, but we exceeded the expectation in the moment, and that's what you expect a team that has experience like us to do.
In the long and storied history of the New York Knickerbockers, Cat is just the second player to have a 20-point triple-double in a playoff game. The only other guy was Walt Clyde Frazier 5.5 decades ago. Clyde was actually in the crowd today watching this game, of course. Walt did it against Bill Russell and company in the 1999 Eastern Division Finals. That tells you how long ago it was.
I bet he was still styling and profiling back then, too. To the Western Conference, OKC leading the Suns 2-0 as the series goes back to the Valley of the Sun, but it was SGA bringing the heat in this one, as evidenced by the ring surrounding this man. Yes, that was in real life, but it might as well have been with the way he was shooting. Pulls up for the open 3, drains that, then driving, gets the layup to go. Thunder up 6. We've seen the long, we've seen the short. Let's get the midi. Jumper, count it, bucket. SGA just cannot miss. Late in the first half, driving, pulls up another J. 17 points. This man was 7 for 7 from the field in the first half. The Thunder led by 9 at the break. Early in the third, Devin Booker trips over Lou Dort trying to cut back door. As we take another look at this, Dort's leg just catching Booker. Here's what Booker had to say about the play.
I mean, I don't know if it's intentional or not. I mean, I've seen he stuck his leg out a little bit. He threw his hand up, you know, to say that it was a foul, and, it just wasn't granted.
Seeing a lot of injuries. Fortunately, Booker would return. Suns trailing by 11 late in the third. Dylan Brooks drives, pulls up with a fadeaway. That's good. Brooks had 33 and 7. Suns trailing by 9, trying to make it a game. Brooks drives, finds Booker in the corner for 3. 16 and 7 he'd have. The Suns climbing back in this one. 87-79 heading into the fourth. But now in the fourth, SGA just can't stop, won't stop. Gets a bunny to go. Thunder up 13. He is loving it. This man was on fire, quite literally, despite the fact that the fire ring has faded. He still strips Booker, finishes with a slam. 42 points. That's a playoff career high. Thunder win the game. Here's SGA.
Regardless of who's out there, I get to go out there and play my game. That's just like the role I have on this team. And my coaches and teammates do a really good job of like letting me be in my space. And now with our second ball handler out, naturally the end of the shot clock plays and naturally the start of possessions the ball's gonna be in my hands more, just naturally without Dub out there. So it's a little bit more opportunity. But regardless with that opportunity, I try not to press more or press less, just let the game tell me what to do. And usually works pretty well.
I don't think we saw anything different tonight than we normally do. Except he was 15 for 18, so.
Yeah, Chet, 15 for 18 is a little out of the ordinary there. SGA's 42 points are the third most in NBA playoff history by a player to shoot 80% or better. The only guys with more are Dirk and Devin Booker, who was also in this game tonight. Shea was 14 for 15 from inside the arc in this one, something no player in the playoffs has ever done.
All right, we're back at you on the press box, the Sunday, April 24th edition. That kind of lays out, the latest from the NBA playoffs. And Stat Boy, I'll be honest with you, man. Ant Edwards avoided a serious knee injury yesterday.
He did, but he still hyperextended his knee, so he's going to be out for multiple weeks before they can come back. So, as it stands right now, the winner of Portland and San Antonio will face the winner of Denver and Minnesota. But I already know who's going to win the Minnesota series. And I have a strong feeling that the Spurs will win their series as well. But real quick, just got to shout out my boy Thomas, loyal Minnesota Wild, Vikings and Timberwolves fan. He was telling me that they would win this series. And I said, how are you going to beat Jokic and Murray and all those guys? He echoed the same sentiments as Jalen McDaniels did. They're all bad defenders. And McDaniel said that and stood on it, and I respect him. So I can't knock what Minnesota's doing. They're destroying Denver. Denver is a bad defensive team. And frustrations are running high because Denver knows they can't win this series.
And hats off to Fitch, the Minnesota coach. Very underrated coach,
No, he is a very underrated coach. This team goes under the radar. Like the last 2 years, this team has won 49 games. So they really go under the radar, and they always have that 6th seed. But when you play them in the playoffs and they're fully healthy, that's the team you don't want to see. They're going to steal a game on the road, and then they're going to go back home and protect home court.
Let me check the text lines. Naughty, now do you like and appreciate LeBron and Bronny after that overtime win the other night against the Houston Rockets? Question mark. LeBron is the GOAT, question mark. And is Bronny the new upcoming GOAT? Laugh out loud.
Okay. That
was time you was joking with the last two. Yeah, LeBron is not the GOAT, and Bronny will never be the GOAT. He'll be the kitty, the son of the wannabe GOAT. So he'll be the wannabe kitty GOAT. But that's it. Nothing to do with the GOATs, so to speak. Listen, I said it earlier. I've said it through the week on Talking Heads when it did come up. LeBron has played his role masterfully. He's allowed other people to come in, and he's facilitated them. Kennard shooting lights out. Marcus Smart playing great ball at both ends of the court. He's another catalyst in this. And the very much maligned, everybody like to blame him all the time, Rui Hachimura stepped up big and played big-time basketball inside and outside.
Did you see that clutch shot from LeBron to tie the game when we were done?
I did, and I saw the alley-oop. And listen, for the Cal Ripken Sr., to Cal Ripken Jr., to Dante Bichette and Bo Bichette, to me and you, to Joe and and Jim Buck. I get it. It's awesome.
No, I loved it, man.
Did it have to take, a $30 million contract that really wasn't necessary and, a spice on the bench from a player that really helped us? Yeah. But in the moment, it was a beautiful thing, and I applauded, and I thought it was all that.
I just have to give LeBron credit, though, because that shot he made was huge to get the game tied. I know he missed the game winner in overtime, but we ended up winning in overtime. But that Houston led by 6 with 25 seconds left in the game. Ime should be ashamed of himself. How do you allow a team to win up 6 with 25 seconds left in the game?
Yeah, there's a lot.
And the Lakers didn't even foul. They didn't even need to foul for them to shoot free throws. He should be ashamed.
But speaking of coaches quietly, JJ Redick, you got to tip your hat to Redick. Redick has done an excellent job getting his team ready to go for this series.
No, absolutely agreed. And keeping us focused, staying the course and realizing that we are a good team. We're a 53-win team. And we're down 2 of our best players, and we're up 3-0. Got to give JJ credit. He's going to get his first playoff series win, and good for him. And, I was a little skeptical of JJ earlier on in the season because we have a lot of talent on this team, but I must give him credit where credit is due right now. We're going to win this playoff series. He's done a great job coaching.
I told you he won me over last year. He slowly but surely won me over.
I couldn't give him the bly last year because we lost to Minnesota fully healthy.
No, but I saw the potential there.
But now I'm really liking what JJ is doing. And it's because of the adversity that we have. And he's thriving in the face of it. I got to give him credit as a coach.
Well, I hope LeBron and Bronny have one more good father and son moment and break out a broom. And then, OKC will put us out of our misery.
But you can't think like that just yet. I'm still rooting for the Lakers, man.
I'm still rooting for the Lakers too, but I know that if we don't have Luka and Reeves, if we have them, it's gonna be a tough series because OKC has owned us all year with everybody there.
Yep, that's true.
So short-handed, it might be even worse.
Hey, you never know though, because there could be a wrong injury, a wrong step, a wrong turn.
That's like Curly would say. That's why we play the game.
That's why Boston lost to New York last year, and it was in the second round. Tatum went down, Achilles. New York was already up 3-2, and they closed them out.
Yep, good stuff. All right, so we got a caller on the line, and let's go to that. Talking press box.
Hey, morning, Nutty, morning, Stat Boy.
Hey, what's going on, Miss Street?
Everything is good. Miss Pearly, man. Miss Pearly, Best Pearly.
Pearly's on injured reserve, Miss Street.
Injured reserve. So that means he's reserved. That means if anything happened to you, he's coming in.
No, he's on the injured list. Like in baseball, we got like the 30 and the 60-day disabled list. He was on the 30-day disabled list. He should be back May 13th or May 14th.
All right, wonderful. Miss you, Pearly, miss you, man. Hope all goes well with you. Now talking about Lakers and OKC, that's an automatic SWEEP/mop.
No. Hold on now. I ain't go as far as saying they can get swept, but it's gonna be a tough road to hoe for the Lakers.
Toughness about it. Luka is out. Reeves is out. So there's no comparison in that area. Come on.
I agree with you, Mr.
OKC is healthy. And
I agree.
Fellas are shooting Lindis.
I agree. What I'm saying to you is I agree. Even with the Lakers full-handed with Luka and Reeves and LeBron and everybody, OKC's had our number this year. However, I'm thinking if Luka and Reeves come back, the Lakers are good to get at least one win. They won't get swept.
But they're going to come back very gingerly. They can't come back as strong and powerful as they usually are. So that's something you have to watch.
Agreed.
You see? So OKC, they shooting on all cylinders. Man, these fellas are outrageous. And I believe that they ain't looking back. And they leaving everything on the court in all series.
Well, I can be honest with you. I anticipate having to sit by and watch my better half, MJ, and her Spurs take on the Oklahoma City Thunder in the Western Conference Finals.
Well,
and
we all
God forbid
know-
and God forbid of disbursement not winning. God forbid of disbursement at all. Oh my God.
Well,
That could be
hate
long.
I hate to say it very passionately for MJ. OKC is going to win that series also. I hate to say it, MJ. Hate to say it. Because I know you are a very big Spurs fan, Wemby fan, and that's an awesome thing. I would really like to see the Spurs get there, but those fellas over there in OKC, my God. You know who
OKC doesn't
remind me
match
of?
up with the Spurs at all.
You know who OKC really remind me of? OKC remind me of the old OKC with Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook when they was really shooting on all cylinders.
And a young James Harden.
Yes, that's who they. I'm surprised that they didn't even win a championship.
That's because Harden wanted his money and they didn't pay him.
They had the perfect team. And I was really looking for him winning a championship, but I guess it was the wrong personalities, like with Russell Westbrook and KD playing together.
And they didn't want to pay Harden.
Maybe that chemistry wasn't there, but mystery, we got to get to the break. But listen out in the 12 o'clock, and if you need to call back, because we're talking NFL draft. Your Dolphins didn't do too badly, man.
Well, I'll be listening. Let me know about it because I can't put it together. So let me know what happened. I'll be listening.
All right, man. We'll be bringing it for you. All right, keep it right where you got it. The Sunday, April 24th, April 26th edition of the Press Box, brought to you by the Island Game, Jimmy's Wines and Spirits, Michelob Ultra, Green Parrot, Margaritaville PI, KFC Nassau, and Harborside Marine continues right after this.
KFC got that crispy onions crunch, take a bite, it's a smile. Sweet onion sauce drip, happy running down my side. Pepper jack cheese, bring a little playful wow. Burrito bun soft like a cloud on this ride. KFC, get chicky with it, hey. Taste the sweet side of things. Every single bite, so lit it. Got my whole crew doing that thing. Crispy onion, sweet onion sauce. Pepper jack cheese, going on.
Introducing the new Sweet Chicky Chicken Sandwich at KFC.
Let's get chicky with it.
The following is a paid political message.
Kalani. Whoa. Hey. Kalani. Oh. The future is brighter. Oh. Vote for my diver. Hey. 'Cause she is a fighter. Find it here. You're looking for truth. Find it here. Vote for MacGyver. She's here for you. See everybody in Kalani. Change his hair. Hey. Hands in the air. See everybody in Kalani. Vote for MacGyver. She is a fighter.
That was a paid political message.
Play with Island Games. We making dreams come true. Play with Island Games. We paying more out to you. Don't mind the noise in the market. You getting cash in your pocket. Equity is tradition. So when you play Island Games, we putting Bahamians first. Guaranteed to pay. Island Games. We like them other jokers. We've been here from the start. From the bike to computer. Island Games. We can make your dreams come true. We playing with Island Games.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 F News, Smart Talk Day.
We're back at you on the Sunday, April 26th edition of Press Box. And your boy Naughty in your company right up until 1 p.m. I'm joined now by Stat Boy, who was with me in the 11 o'clock hour. Mega now joins us. So we ready to roll. Gents, how are you? We're into the 12 o'clock hour. Let's talk some NFL. I know a lot of people, that's what they wanted to jump to right away this morning. But we had to, do our due diligence and take care of baseball, Major League Baseball and the NBA. But boy, I tell you, how do you guys feel about your drafts respectively? Mega, how you feel about the 49er draft?
Well, listen, I was shocked when we traded out of the first round. I was trying to figure out what the hell is John and Kyle was doing. And then I saw we picked up first pick of the second round. So Don Stribling from Ole Miss. It's a strong, good run blocking wide receiver, and we like to run the football.
Correct.
Especially with Jack and McCaffrey. And then we came up with an edge rusher, but we did need it because we had our problems last year on defense. Edge rushers dropping left, right, and center. With Romello Heights from Texas Tech. So
good pick too. I think he'll do well too in that system because he fits what you guys are trying to do.
Yeah, I'm saying. So the Niners, we pick up another running back because we got Christian McCaffrey. He did put up a lot, but if you know his history with injury, he has a good year. The second year kind of tails off, and then he comes back stronger. Because I think at his age, because he's close to 30 now, that's a lot of weight load he did last year.
Plus, you lost Brian Robinson, correct? He signed as a free agent elsewhere, correct?
That's free, right. So you need another back. I don't know if you can do it on Gurundo. I think he had a lot of potential the year before, but didn't really play him like that. I don't know if him and Kyle had a falling out. Isaac Gurundo is a speedy receiver. But Kyle looks for those type of shifty guys who could catch in the backfield. That's why, we traded for Christian McCaffrey in the first place. So, it was a mixed bag. Outside, you got this guy, Gray Salton from Oklahoma, Carlos Willis from Washington. I kind of like the linebacker pickup, Jaden Duggar from Louisiana. I looked up some of his stats and some of his players yesterday. He looked like a pretty linebacker. After we done traded one of our linebackers to Dallas. I think he's going to...
Thank you very much, by the way, too.
So, y'all got a solid running. Y'all got a solid linebacker. Exactly, for a fifth-round pick.
Listen, perfect plug and play for what Christian Parker's trying to do in Dallas. I watched what he did to step in and fill the shoes of Fred Warner when Fred Warner was injured to a high level to the tune of 101 tackles. Send him already. Fred Warner speaks this kid's praises, said he's always prepared. He could definitely be the green dot in Dallas. Contract year for him, so we got rights to re-sign him. I think it's well worth a fifth-round pick.
Yeah, man, I think it was. It was, and like I said, y'all got a good linebacker. He stepped in, like you said, when Fred went down. Also, when we lost our rookie linebacker. But he was the one that we was relying on. Now, there were some players that he made some mistakes, but that's understanding. Because Fred Warner it's hard to replace Fred Warner. But he came in some games. He played well. Like I said, remember that pick six? He had to seal the game against the Chicago Bears last season.
Correct.
Y'all had a good linebacker, man. But I was kind of this draft this year. I didn't see my superstars in it outside of maybe the top 10. After that, I think this draft was not really a star one. Like most people, most years. So I was pretty kind of okay with it. I don't really too much go with the drafts and the grades. Because, these grades tell you one thing, and then next thing you know, these senior players who they give D's and F's to win and become an NFL superstars and all pros.
Well, I'll give it to both Mel Kiper and Daniel Jeremiah gave you guys a C. They liked your picks of Stribling and Kalion Black. Now, they're two favorite picks that you guys made. But they said there's still some issues there. You didn't address the Trent Williams situation. And Romello Heights is a good pick, but he got some work to do.
Listen, if you were trying to address the Trent Williams pick, then you got to go in the top 10 because those were the best tackles I've seen in a while.
Now, they said the just sneaky good pick would be Grayson Halton, the defensive tackle.
Defensive tackle from Oklahoma.
Correct.
So, it's hard to replace a Trent Williams. So, but you just got to go with it. I think tackles, to me, offensive linemen, they can be groomed differently compared to other positions because sometimes you may be good as a left tackle, but you may be good as a guard.
And
You know
that's
what I'm saying?
honest. Trent Williams is generational, man. He's up there
Exactly. You know?
with generational offensive tackles. Okay.
Right. So it's hard to replace him and say you're gonna dress
Like how
up.
we had Tyron Smith in Dallas and they had a couple of good ones over there in Baltimore. You know what I mean? They're generational.
You know, that's Jonathan Ogden. them type.
Ogden, correct.
So
And you look at Trent Williams, when you got to shut down and you got a game plan for this dude, guess what? He's a problem.
You know, so once
He
you're
was
on
very
that,
Larry Allen-like. So I get it. Y'all got to address those kind of issues. So we'll see where it goes. But again, Shanahan is famous for taking players like you scratch your head on draft day, and then all of a sudden you see him on Sunday making plays in the system for the 49ers. The biggest one being Brock Purdy,
that's the last pick in the draft, and look what he is right now.
who I will remind you again is not a generational talent, but a great system quarterback.
So we agree on that. I was never them type of people who freaked out. But I know when he played that game the first time I saw him, I was trying to figure out who the hell he was. But then after I saw the brother play and he got us to the NFC Championship, I was like, all right, I guess it is a lot of what Kyle Shanahan do with these quarterbacks and the system. I mean, look at Mark Jones last year. Mark Jones came in and he won 7-8 games for us.
But it's further proof that Shanahan runs his system, and by God, he runs it. And if you fit it, he'll play you, and the system will run.
Exactly. I mean, look at Deebo Samuel. How has he flourished in Washington since he been there?
I hear there's a potential homecoming for Deebo. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. There's been sips of him coming back because right now I'm seeing things in him in Washington. So people got to understand, man, listen, you're not a pure receiver. You're a gadget player.
You're a running back, bro, or a fat wide receiver, but nonetheless, which makes you a running back. So, yeah, you're a running back.
Yeah, and he works well in those sweeps and and let's just do it, man. Half-back draws and tosses, and you put him in the backfield. You don't know if Christian McCaffrey or
10 yards now and let him outrun the linebacker, and if he could juke the safety, there goes a 10-yard catch, looking like an 80-yard statistic.
Everybody want to be Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase. No, you ain't, bro. You ain't.
Or CeeDee Lamb or George Pickens. Don't you dare disrespect them. Anyway, let's check in with Sancho and see what the Baltimore Ravens draft went. How did the draft go, in your opinion, for your Ravens there, Sancho?
I think it went all right. I think it was decent. I like the pick of Vega Ione. I really wish we would have taken Ruben Bain because we need an edge rusher, but he's a great guard all across the board. We got Zion Young in the second round from Missouri, who's an edge rusher. He's really nice. And I also really like us getting Jacoby Lane from USC and Elijah Surratt from Indiana. Those two tall physical receivers. I hope at least one of them could pan out. The rest of the draft for me was a little bit iffy. We took Hibner in the fourth round from SMU at tight end. He's just a run blocking guy, a pass blocking guy. We took another tight end from Alabama. We drafted a punter in the sixth round. I mean, we always do something dumb like that. Why would you waste a draft pick on a punter? But we got another guard and another D lineman. So overall, I think we did good. I think we did decent.
They graded you a B+.
Well, I don't mind their grades because these guys could be graded well before they even touch a snap of NFL football. And then when they play in the NFL, it's completely different.
Agreed, but right now on paper, they have...
Yeah, on paper, it looks good, but every game has to play. Like Hurley says, that's why you play the game. I think Ione will be a very good player for us, though. I think he'll be a very good guard. I hope Zion Young pans out because we need a really solid edge rusher. And I hope one of either Lane or Surratt pans out, too, because that would be the perfect complement to go alongside Zay, and we didn't have to spend money in free agency, bringing a guy in free agency or none of that. So that'll be good.
Well, I guess that brings us to the Dallas Cowboys draft.
Which you couldn't wait for. Let's just hear it. Get it out of the way.
Of course, that's why you want us to go first.
Just rave about the 12th pick already.
Caleb.
Oh, here we go.
There is a God. I keep telling you there's a reason why they opened a roof in the stadium in Dallas so God could watch his football team play. You don't think God made divine intervention happen that Caleb Downs could free fall to number 11, the Miami Dolphins, let us jump and take 11 for 2 fifth-round picks. Then we turn around later on in the same first round, drop from 20 to 23 with the Philadelphia Eagles and pick up 2 fourth-round picks. Come on.
No, that was a home run draft.
It was meant to be. It was meant to be. And officially, I can now say the Dallas Cowboys won the Micah Parsons trade. Absolutely darn won the Micah Parsons trade. Micah freaking who?
I thought you would go with the linebacker formerly at Penn State, man. You've been calling him his name recently.
I'm talking about Micah who? Micah
just
nobody.
He's just so happy that he can finally sit it down, you know.
Caleb Downs is going to transform that defense. He is exactly what Christian Parker wants. When you have him compared, you know, intellectually to Brian Dawkins and Ed Reed, two of the greats, and then you're compared physically to a Brian Dawkins, which I have no problem with because Brian Dawkins used to break up my Cowboys week in and week out. Perfect plug and play for the Dallas Cowboys with the addition of Winters from the 49ers for a 5th-round pick. Malachi Lawrence from UCF, sneaky good. Sneaky good. He comes in and does exactly what DeMarcus Lawrence used to do for the Cowboys, just a younger version of it. Then you look at what we added on the back end. As far as the defense goes, you have Jyshawn Barnum from Michigan. He's not going to be a bust like Taco Charlton and Mosley Smith. This kid could actually play 2 positions, inside linebacker, edge rusher, very high graded. A fan of the other Harbaugh brother. So he's going to work out well as a 3rd-round pick. Then I like what we did later on, too. Devin Moore, highly underrated cornerback from the University of Florida. Tall, lanky, good closing speed, long arms. Parker was foaming at the mouth. I think this is a pet pick for Christian Parker. But then look what he did with old boy from Philadelphia last year. What was the star boy? What was their all-pro cornerback?
In Philly, which team?
Quinyon Mitchell.
Well, they had Quinyon make it, and they had what's his name? Cooper DeJean made it too.
But Mitchell was his pet cat coming out.
No, Mitchell was the lockdown guy on either side of the field.
Watch out for Devin Moore being a name in Dallas moving forward. All right.
I'll keep an eye.
And then obviously, you know, LT Overton from Alabama on the edge was a great pickup right there. And I like what they did on offense too. Drew Shelton, offensive tackle from Penn State. Not bad at all. I could play left tackle and right tackle. I like that. Probably the new swing tackle there. And then Anthony Smith, high pedigree, bounced around collegiately, ended up at East Carolina, was an MVP of a bowl game, but he's a dog. He's an absolute dog. And Sancho, you remember, close family friend who formerly played at East Carolina, Dwayne Harris. He brings a lot of that Dwayne Harris to the table.
What a beast. I remember
Punt
Dwayne.
returner, kick returner, good wide receiver. So I think this is a special teams developmental guy that might actually stick around. So I like what the Cowboys did across the board. And I agree with them getting an A grade. They nailed it. They didn't panic. They didn't trade up outrageously. They did what they had to do. And I think the defense now, the pressure is on Christian Parker. You have your pieces. You went grocery shopping. Cook up something good, buddy, because all you got to do is cook up something that holds the opposition to about 20 to 23 points a game, and the Cowboys win.
A little bit less than that, but yeah, y'all can win games now this year, and I think Downs is going to be a great safety.
I'm impressed by with the ESPN now. So they had the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Raiders, and the Cleveland Browns all getting A grades. I was impressed by that.
Very few A grades.
Yeah. And the Cleveland Browns is on the top of the list. And I saw some of the picks. I kind of like some of the guys that they drafted anyhow, because they needed some offensive line help. I mean, from last year. Now,
definitely needed it.
I don't know who that quarterback's going to be because, you got Deshaun Watson still there and Shedeur Sanders. So we can see how the way got in training camp.
I think, to tell you the truth, they're going to try to get whatever money they can get out of Deshaun Watson, but have Shedeur ready, waiting in the wings, fully prepared, fully ready to go. Let me check the text lines real quick. Good afternoon, Naughty. I dreamt months ago that the Houston Rockets won the NBA Finals. I trust my dream because I dreamt during the NFL regular season that the Seattle Seahawks won the Super Bowl, and they won. Well, you'll probably have a dream saying, 1 out of 2 ain't bad.
Listen, unless LeBron is the third person who wins it, the Rockets ain't in that series. Kevin Durant, to me, Kevin Durant has already internally destroyed the whole chemistry of that team. Even though they started playing good coming out of the end of the year, I think he was just the bad omen for that team all year. When they lost Fred VanVleet, that's your two veteran players who've been to the playoffs, know what it is to win the championship. I said there was no chance the Houston Rockets are going to win the series with those young guys. So that ain't happening.
I think that the Houston's chance for this year is done, like we mentioned in the first hour. But back to the NFL, to the draft, I think, like I said, I'm impressed with what the Cowboys did. Now, somebody who took a major reach.
I know who you're going to say already.
Who?
L.A. Rams.
How you know so good?
Because I wanted to talk about it as well. That's why I know great minds think alike. But go ahead.
All right, we're going to get to this clip from Rich Eisen. And once we get through this clip, we'll break it down. Did they reach? Was he taken too early? Was it a panic? So on and so forth. So, and they got a lot of flack for it. So let's go to that clip right now, courtesy of ESPN and Rich.
There was another big moment where could have taken your timeout, if you will. Carnell Tate going 4. That was kind of a surprise. But the Ty Simpson moment, again, I'm still catching up on stuff that's still sitting here. What did Saban have to say about that?
He thought for Ty, it was the perfect spot for him simply because he only has 15 starts in his career.
Right.
He's a really smart guy. He can learn from Matthew Stafford and from Sean McVay. I think he was also very happy for Ty that he didn't plummet in the green room and have to wait until tonight to be drafted. Mm-hmm. But, I think it was a bit of a surprise to everybody. I mean, Matthew Stafford's still the reigning MVP of the league. And you feel like they're a Super Bowl contender and maybe you want something to help right now. So, look, I'm very happy for Ty. It's one of the things that I feel like sometimes that people get a little offended personally, and then they end up projecting on the player if they don't agree with it a little bit. Mm-hmm. Ty's a terrific player. I mean, Orlovsky loves him. Chase Daniel loves him. Gruden loves him. So people that don't, that's okay too, but there are plenty of people who do. So I think big picture, long term, I understand why you would make the pick, but for their particular situation, I questioned it a lot. I would have much rather, I'm a forget them picks kind of thing in the future. Everybody's reconfiguring their roster every year, just like we are in college football now. You got to try to win now. I would have gotten them some more help right now. Another receiver, offensive lineman, edge rusher, whatever, anything.
Right.
I would have waited. And if you are willing to spend, and you guys are more in tune with the draft capital aspect of it, but if you are willing to spend the 13th pick on your future quarterback, then I would think you can probably find somebody to make a deal with to trade back up later on and get him in the 20s and still make your 13th pick in order to help Matthew Stafford. That's part of it that I didn't
there's
understand.
no doubt about that. It's just, though, you never know, man. That's the whole thing.
Right.
You never know which part.
You never know if you can get back in to go.
Maybe you can. That's
again,
fair
and the
point.
perfect example is that the Steelers think the Cowboys are taking a defender here. So let's call Mekhi Lemon. They're on the phone with him, and you saw that video, right? Mekhi Lemon's like, what are the Eagles doing calling me right now? Which is the way, you always look when you're on TV or whatever, and you look down at your phone like, this person knows I'm on TV right now. But he's like, what are the Eagles calling me right now? And the agent comes up to, because the Eagles have just traded for you. And the Steelers are sitting there probably going, what was that all about? That's why if you got the 13th overall pick and you're going to you think about the kid, you're going to trade down and then run and then now spend the next 2 hours grinding it out, right? I don't know. So that's why you do it. It's and it doesn't matter if a trophy winds up in the case.
Let's be as direct as we can be.
Yes, sir.
It's a terrible pick. It's an absolutely terrible pick by the Rams.
Why do you feel
it makes
But it
no
doesn't
sense
mean you're not
whatsoever.
saying that he's a terrible player.
Absolutely not. He may wind up being the greatest player of all time, but he will. They have Matthew Stafford at an age where he is the very definition of year to year. They had the best team in the NFL last year and didn't win the whole thing.
Yes.
They could have used they literally got for the most valuable asset they had in this entire exercise of the NFL draft, they got someone who will contribute zero to their effort to win the Super Bowl next year. So this is, to me, it's reminiscent of, look, if he winds up being Aaron Rodgers and maybe Jordan Love, then maybe you could argue that those picks worked out well for Green Bay because they got them in the long run. But at the end of the day, from the time that they drafted those players, Brett Favre didn't win any more Super Bowls, and neither did Aaron Rodgers. So I think one could look at the Green Bay Packers and say, you should have won more than you did with Favre. You should have won more than you did with Rodgers. And I think we could look at the Rams and say, you should have gotten someone who will help you win the championship this year and figure out who your next quarterback is going to be another time.
That's what I think that too. I mean, and look, I love
round of applause from Brockman right away.
I love Ty Simpson, but I agree with you. Try to win now. You don't know what's going to happen in the future.
Right. But they got Trent McDuffie with the other pick. Yeah. I understand that could have been one more. Mm-hmm. And the issue that Les Snead has in pushing back on something that you just said is his track record. Basically, his own track record is his biggest issue to deal with in pushing back on you, because he's so great at turning picks like the 13th overall into somebody that can go and crush it for them right now and generationally, potentially, over the next 10 years. So that's the issue. And I totally understand that. It is a head-scratcher at the least, and the way that you placed it out there. At the worst.
If you're going to use the 13th pick in the draft, and I know this is not, like every draft is not created equal. Right. So I know the 13th best player in this draft might not have been the 13th best last year or next year. Yes. But it's still a very valuable asset. Sure. If you're going to use that on your future quarterback, on someone who's not going to play in a perfect world for at least another year, if not two, right, then I think the projection on him, again, Ty Simpson might wind up being terrific, but he doesn't check any of the boxes, literally any of the boxes. He doesn't have the size. He doesn't have the huge arm. He doesn't have the number of starts in college. He doesn't fulfill any of the Bill Parcells rules of quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. To use a pick it's one thing if you use the 29th pick in the draft. This is the 13th pick in the draft. That seemed like that is a very, very aggressive move that I have a real hard time understanding.
The one thing I would push back on is true, though. He is the one guy in this quarterback class, and maybe one of the few in the next quarterback class, that kind of comes out of the pro system. I remember we did a tape on game day that I worked with a scout on about him identifying, changing protections, and making a third down throw in traffic to complete a 3rd and 7 against Georgia on a big drive. And the guy I was working with on the tape said, you don't see this in college. You just don't see it. And I think because of that it might change the dynamics. I agree with you. He's not the biggest guy in the world. Once he lost all that weight after he got sick and injured and all of that happened to him, he was not the same physically. But he does have some things that he has experience in that other quarterbacks coming out don't have, I think.
Hey, you made it all the way to the...
So, what's your take, fellas? Did they reach?
I think so.
I think they could have got him toward the end of the first round.
I think so as well, because I don't think any other team was a risk to take him. As a risk, it's a reach. If it works out, everything will be forgotten about, but the Rams needed another receiver, could have used a lineman, could have used something, because they have a championship window right now, and Matt Stafford just won the MVP, so seems like a bit of a reach, but it could end up working out.
I don't think they need another receiver. I think their problem was the defense. If you watch the NFC Championship,
that's true.
Tom Donald they put 30-something points on their defense.
Yep.
Their defense was tearing up early in the year when they was getting sacks. Like the press, it wasn't getting there with John versus and group. So I think their problem was more on maybe a linebacker. But I think they could have picked up a quarterback, a backup quarterback, because Matthew Stafford ain't the youngest and he ain't the healthiest right now. I think
McVay kind of had eyes for this Simpson kid at the draft combine.
Mm.
But did you see his look quarterback, kind of like system? What's that?
Did you see his expression when he?
I was getting to that. The kid goes on the draft conversation. Let's make history together, man. Or let's make something great happen. And McVay was like,
"Yeah, no,
okay, yeah, just enjoy the moment."
The guy was excited about
that you could be holding clipboard for 2 years, buddy. Just calm down. But McVay already knows what he could do with him. So obviously it'd be somebody that he wants to develop.
Right.
then there you have it.
But my thing is too, let's not pretend like Matthew Stafford is the healthiest of healthiest. Okay, this brother have a back problem. All it takes is one blindside blitz or tackle, and he go on the ground the wrong way.
Correct.
Something like what happened to Joe Montana. Hey,
exactly. I was just about to say, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I get it. They needed another quarterback, but like I said, they could have found somebody. Is Aaron Rodgers a free agent?
yeah, but what is he going to do coming
he's
over?
going back to Pittsburgh.
That's ancient history. There, the one dude's 39, the other dude's 40 something.
Yeah. But I don't think the Niners getting trade Mac Jones to their rival. But they could have found a backup quarterback somewhere, just in case my Stafford went down. So I get it. Sean McVay is one of those.
Well, they have Stetson Bennett there, who knows the system well, and so on and so forth. So maybe,
And Jimmy G. Jimmy G there, too.
Jimmy is contemplating retirement.
He'll make a good actor. He got the looks for it.
But they already got George Clooney. They don't need Garoppolo. Let's get to the phone lines. We got Muff on the line. Press box.
Yeah, Mega, what's going on? But, Naughty, I got two quick comments and a question, like a hang up and thing. I guess I will say this too. That's good for the Charlotte Hornets. Cheating dogs don't prosper. Y'all try and captain and see what happens. Y'all get kicked out. That's good. Now,
let it go, Muff. Let it go.
Yeah. Now, Naughty, what Chicago dealing with, boy? They let that boy go, boy. But the Sumo 143 last night and 25 in the game before that. The coach resigned. Boy, they had a rough week. But that boy, he get next man step up. I'm gone down. Another boy going down, so next man step up. Now, in the draft. Oh, yeah, and MJ, I hope Yambi play today. I hope he come back from that concussion today. I really love to see him play. Yeah, and I see Cherry and Stephen Jones bragging, but y'all number two, y'all two number one draft picks and everything. Yeah, I think y'all look at the Lawrence boy and the Downs boy.
His name is Caleb Downs, and he was the best player in the draft.
Oh, I agree. Yes, all right. You could brag. Yeah, because he's all
right. Did he go to college, Sancho?
But that's why he's the best. He went to the Ohio State University.
Via the University of Alabama, where he sat at the feet of Nick Saban.
Yeah.
Who didn't value him, but we valued him.
The question is, and then I can hang up. Gentlemen, how did Aaron Rodgers playing cute again? Because, my two Pittsburgh boys here, I say this, how did he affect the draft yesterday for Pittsburgh by playing cute? He didn't want to answer the phone call, and he didn't want to see if he was signed again or whatever. I can hang up and listen.
He didn't. It was predetermined already with him and McCarthy. They already had kissed and made up in the offseason.
Oh,
and he told McCarthy, when I come from in the hole in the ground, but I go crawling in every season and smell my bodily fluids and emissions, I'll be playing for the Steelers. So he'll play for the Steelers this year. He'll be
okay, that's good. They have another old man again there, so they ain't getting no place again. They got the goat. All right then, gentlemen, I can continue.
They got Mike McCarthy, but trust me, I know the torture and the pain that is Mike McCarthy. But I just got a lot. Tell you boys from Pittsburgh, get plenty of alcohol ready now. Stock up now.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers, I see that's the problem. Aaron Rodgers got this thing with holding his team's hostage. I couldn't be a GM, I couldn't be a GM, bro. I'd have been like, yeah, bro, you could be listening for somebody else. I got time for that. Bro, you in your 40s. Why am I stressing? You know what I'm saying? And then you got to blame these coaches and these GMs who's allowed to do that.
Yeah, like, this you every off season.
You mean like on your prime now. You're doing this stuff now, but they'd be like, bro, if this brother you don't give us answer today, okay, let's move on, but we ain't got time.
I give
Aaron
Pittsburgh
Rodgers
credit.
is a prima donna, and he's held the league over a barrel for years, but one way or another.
Give him credit though, because it looks like they're preparing for Will Howard, if need be. They're not, succumbing to his whims.
I have a cousin who's a big Steeler fan. I keep telling him, he's like, "Mom, we got Mason Rudolph." I said, "You keep bragging, but this Mason Rudolph, not every Sam Donald now has already made every team that has those type of quarterbacks hopeful now today. If Sam Donald could do it, we could do it. That's a big problem.
Sam is a different breed of animal. He ended up with coaches that actually liked him coming out and figured that he could fit the system. System quarterback in Minnesota, system quarterback in Seattle. He just plays the system.
Yeah, and I think too, he also had a historic defense behind him as well too. So if he made mistakes, they was able to have his back too. Because if it wasn't for that defense, and usually land on Sam Donald, I don't see it happening.
No, Sam ain't gonna win you no game, but he can manage the game and help you win it.
Oh yeah. You know, I give him his props, man. He played well these last 2 seasons. I'm not gonna knock that. He played well.
I mean, he's no Brock Purdy, but I mean, he did well.
I can live with that one too. We can see this year because that defense lost a lot of players. So let's see what happens this season coming.
Yeah, I think a lot of parity going to happen in the NFC West again. I think Seattle has lost some players, but I think they expected to lose some of those players. I think they had the cupboard full with their replacements already.
Yeah. Listen, the Seahawks can be solid, but I don't think they're going to be as solid as they was last season. And it's going to take Donald to do some more this year for them because don't forget now, Kenneth Walker they're going too, so they're going. Charbonnet is going to have a heavier workload.
What workload? I'm telling you now. Listen. Martinez, who played at the where at the U, that's your running back for next year.
For Seattle?
Correct. He sat in Seattle all last year as a rookie.
Yeah, he does. He's going to have to step up because Charbonnet tore his ACL against the 49ers in the divisional.
And one thing that he gives you is that in between the tackle pounder, and he could do the red zone running. You find him a little scat back to go with, and now you have a combination. And I'm hearing that the Dolphins may not be out of the running and traded Devin Etienne to the Seattle Seahawks.
Now, if that happens, boy.
But that's the kind of stuff you look like after June 1st with those kind of trades and so on and so forth.
Yeah, like A.J. Brown, how the Eagles got Mekhi Lemon. I know he's gone for sure.
Correct. I was just going to bring him up. What's your take on A.J. Brown, fellas? I think he is out of there. Now, where does he go? Does he end up in New England, or does he end up in New Orleans, or does he end up somewhere else? But I know he's out of there.
New Orleans. I didn't even think of them. If he goes to New Orleans, man. Whew.
Diana, you see, without the hot.
But I think if he goes to New Orleans, him and Olave make a great combination.
Along with Jalen Tyson or Jordan Tyson, the younger brother of the basketball player, who just got drafted to New Orleans. He's going to be a dog at Arizona
Yes,
State.
but he could develop at a pace as a rookie where he's not forced to develop accelerated because you have the presence of somebody like A.J. Brown along with Chris Olave. That's a passing offense.
Yep, we getting
Shuck
Shuck
tonight. Passing
tonight.
offense, and Shuck could actually get it done.
Tyler Shuck.
Shucking and shucking.
Nah, that could actually be a very, very good team.
Yeah, and you got Kellen Moore there who knows how to put points up on the board. He did it in Dallas as offensive coordinator.
He did. And
don't
team
sleep on New Orleans.
also has, I believe they also signed, what's his name? Travis Etienne or Travis Etienne. How do you say his last name?
Yeah, him, who used to be a Jacksonville.
Who was the former Jags running back. So they have Etienne. They have now Shuck. They have Olave, Tyson. If Brown gets there, that could be dangerous.
So you don't think he's going to make it with the Patriots then?
He could, but a lot of that is like cloudy now because of the scandal, which is completely not even AJ Brown's fault. But like a lot of that now, it'll be looked at differently. It could still happen, and it would be great for the Patriots as the defending AFC champs. But that scandal, that cloudiness over with that situation is just making them look bad right now.
I mean, the NFL that isn't going to. Well, this whole scandal thing isn't. They're not getting involved in it for now.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to open up a Pandora's box if they do, because they're going to try to figure out like really how much information was she really getting,
and from who all.
So even with this trade, I still think the trade is going to go through. I still think, they already had the lineup and set up. I don't think A.J. Brown's going to be back, especially when I saw the Eagles drafted wide receiver in the first round. I was like, yep, A.J. Brown ain't going.
But yeah, when they drafted Mekhi Lemon, I knew he was gone. He is gone. Yeah. The Eagles really did very good this draft lap. They got Greenard from the Vikings, which was insane. And I mentioned this in the press box text group chat a little bit ago. They drafted a guy. His name is Uar Bernard, I believe his name is. He's from Nigeria. Yeah. He's never played a snap of football before in his life. He's 6'4", 300 with a 6% body fat percentage. He runs a 4.6 40. and he has a 39-inch, I think, broad jump and like 35.
And what position they want to play him at?
Vertical jump, D tackle.
Ooh,
But I mean, and he could like a bunch of different places, but wherever they find a position for him, he could thrive. And it's like Mailata, who never really played football before, but ended up being a dominant O lineman. And it's crazy. I'm just thinking about it. This dude is a genetic freak, and he somehow got drafted before Diego Pavia, and I can't believe that.
And we'll see him in the WWE within 5 years.
Yeah, okay. You don't know that. He could become great.
In the WWE.
You don't know that for sure.
That's
yet.
all I like. So if they draft him, so I guess the whole speculation with them trading Jalen Carter might be true then.
It's
Look,
well,
you
this
trade
guy-
Jalen Carter post June 1st.
You got him. This guy has never played organized football before, but Jalen
This
Carter,
guy's
if he gets
developmental for sure, but they are looking to move Carter though on a separate note.
Because if you can draft somebody who never played football that high in the first round,
well, it
that's
was the
like
seventh round.
No, seventh round.
Yeah. Okay. But there was another player too, I think, from Africa who was drafted in the first round. I can't remember his team he went for. He didn't play football until junior college. I try to remember his name. I think it was a linebacker.
He was never drafted in the first round. He was an undrafted free agent. You were talking about the Nigerian nightmare Christian Okoye, who was a running back for the Kansas City Chiefs.
No,
And
I'm talking about
played at
somebody
Azusa Pacific University.
I remember Christian Okoye, but there was
Are you referring to Akeem? No, it can't be Akeem Mesidor. It can't be. I don't see it.
There was some guy from either went to top. I can't remember the team he went to, man. They said he didn't play football until he came to the United States when he was age 13, and he didn't play until he reached in junior college. I'm trying to. I gotta look it up. Let me look it up.
Yeah, look him up. But the last one I remember coming that route was Okoye with the Kansas City Chiefs.
He's talking about Max Ianachor. I might have butchered that name. Who played at Arizona State and got drafted by the Steelers.
But I'll tell you what, it ain't gonna be Igbahini drafted by the Dolphins, traded to the Cowboys. Or Igbanonami, whatever his name was.
Yeah, the cornerback, right? Yeah.
He was rancid. He was horrible. Anyway, we got Rich Eisen lined up to take us home today. Rich is talking about, and on this week's What's More Likely, he's addressing the Rams, Cowboys, Raiders, Bears, Bucks, Eagles, Jets, and more. But before we get to that, we got to get to our picks today. Our NBA picks, all brought to you, of course, by the Island Game. The game you know, the friends you trust, and the Island Game always reminds you to play responsibly. Brand new sportsbook. Be sure to check it out. Simply log on to theislandgame.com. More ways to play, more ways to win. All right. Let's look at today's NBA schedule. That's where our picks are coming from. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 big games on top in the NBA today, fellas. Here we go. We got the 1 o'clock game, the Raptors and the Cavaliers. The Cavaliers lead the series 2-1. 4.5-point favorites are Cleveland. I like the Cavaliers to get it done, and I like them to cover the 4.5 points today, even though Toronto plays well in Toronto. I like the Cavaliers to get the job done today.
I think I'm going to go with Toronto, actually. They play too good at home. They're great defensively. And I
Toronto
think plus
4.5 is not a bad pick at all.
I think the series could go a nice 6 or 7 games. I'm going to take Toronto to even up the series.
What about
you? No, I still like Cleveland in this. I think Cleveland just have more firepower than they're playing pretty good. I think they already gave their one loss. I think that series is going to be like a 5-game series.
All right, we got the Spurs and the Blazers and the 3:30 p.m. game. I like the Spurs to win this one. If they have Wemby, I like them to cover the 4.5 points. If they don't have Wemby, give me the Spurs in the money line, but I see the game today.
Yeah, Wemby's not right.
He should be.
I don't know if Wemby's back for game 4. I'll have to check this, but I like the Spurs to win regardless.
Yeah, I like the Spurs to go up 3-1 in this. I like Castle. I like Dylan Harper off the bench. Cornette played well and came over from the other night, 14 and 10 in quality minutes. And then you had De'Aaron Fox doing his thing as well too. The Spurs are loaded. They have opportunities for other dudes to step up and score the basketball now that Wemby's out. So I don't think they miss a beat really there because they've won some games without Wemby during the regular season. But like I said, if Wemby's back today, I like them to cover the 4.5 points. If not, take the money line. But I do like the Spurs to win and move to 3-1 in this series.
Yeah, give me San Antonio in this as well too.
Celtics and the 76ers. Bless his heart, VJ Edgecombe and the boys and Moxie and them, they trying their darndest. They're down 2-1. Boston 7.5 point favorites today. Philadelphia's at home. I like the Sixers plus the 7.5. I don't think they win the game, but I think this is a closer game than people think. I don't think they get blown out like last Sunday, but I do like the Celtics to win this series and pull away and win the series. So I like the Celtics to win today's game. But if you're a betting person, Sixers plus the 7.5 is not a bad bet. Celtics money line is not a bad bet either.
You know that's a no-brainer for me.
I like Boston to get this one done too in Philly and close it out in 5 when they come back.
Now,
I like
mind
Boston to
you,
get done.
Mind you, that last game, that showed me some grit that the Celtics had because Philly was doing everything to win that game. And
Yeah, big shot by Tatum. Big
yeah,
shot.
that 3-pointer, boy, that was the nail in the coffin. So I don't know if that took a lot out of them on Thursday night, but I don't see them extending the series no more than 5 games as well.
I agree.
Yeah, but the Sixers, to their credit, they're a bunch of resilient little young sons.
They are.
That game, buddy.
The youngins, the youngins, yeah.
The youngins on that team? The youngins on that team have no sense. They you have to put them down like a rabid animal. They are going to the end. Especially Moxie and VJ. They will chew your leg off. They don't care.
They are, bro. I big ups to VJ, man. I think he was the youngest in NBA history to have 30 points.
Yeah.
In his first play. Yeah, man.
He was up there with Magic and LeBron, I think.
Yeah, first rookie guard to do it since those two was Magic and LeBron.
Yeah, so big ups to him, bro. VJ doing his thing, but you know.
Speaking of LeBron, listen, if Vegas is going to be dumb enough to give me the Houston minus 4.5, people take the Lakers plus the 4.5 points. Bet it, set it, and forget it, and win with the Island game. I like the Lakers to wrap this series up today and sweep the Houston Rockets. And if you're getting a free 4.5 points, take it. That is a no-brainer. Winner, chicken dinner right there.
Yeah, that team already. They fought their butt off that last game.
Mentally, the Rockets are done.
They're done
after that choke.
And it doesn't help
with
the browbeating coming from the coach. And I get it. I get fiery coaching, and I like coaches like that. But listen, you've been out-coached by J.J. Redick. Accept it. You need to look yourself in the mirror, Udoka, and criticize yourself a little bit, too. And stop being so harsh on your team.
He don't do that, bro. Even don't like LeBron in the first place.
That's really got his goat.
You know, them two always get back and forth when they see each other. So, you know, Ime ain't gonna do that. I think right now, Ime more embarrassed than the players to say he getting beat from this team.
All right, well, Mr. Producer's giving us that hard break. We got Rich Eisen lined up out of the break, man. I want to thank you guys for contributing.
Hold on, before you go, Noddy, hold on. The player I was talking about was the guy who the Pittsburgh Steelers drafted. The Marks guy. I can't remember his last name. That's who it was, I remember. From the Steelers. First time he played football was in junior college.
Insane.
Wow.
Yeah.
Insane.
We'll see where he goes, man. We'll keep an eye on those kind of stories and see how they develop, if they develop. But always something to watch in the offseason, especially. All right, good stuff, guys. I appreciate you, man. Stat Boy and from Mega, this is your boy Naughty. We appreciate you chiming in and texting in and calling in. Rich Eisen taking us home. And we'll see you next week right here on the Press Box. All brought to you, of course, by The Island Game, Jimmy's Wines and Spirits, Michelob Ultra, KFC Nassau, Green Parrot, Margaritaville PI, and Harborside Marine.
Play with Island Games. We making dreams come true. Play with Island Games. We paying more out to you. Don't mind the noise in the market. You getting cash in your pocket. 'Cause Island Games is spicy and spicy is tradition. So when you play Island Games, we putting Bahamians first. Guaranteed to pay. Island Games. We like them other jokers. We've been here from the start. From the bike to computer. Island Games. We gonna make your dreams come true. We playing with Island Games.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
This is Minister JoBeth Colby Davis. When one power line faulted, the whole neighborhood used to go dark. Now, a breakthrough in technology finds the problem and reroutes power so more homes stay connected. That's reduced outages by 86%. Upgrades like this mean lower operating costs and lower bills. Instead of temporary fixes, we're building a modern grid. Choose more reliable power. Choose progress.
Paid for by the PLP.
KFC got that crispy onions crunch. Take a bite, it's a smile. Sweet onion sauce drip, happy running down my side. Pepper jack cheese, bring a little playful wow. Burrito bun soft like a cloud on this ride. KFC, get chicky with it. Hey. Tasting sweet, side of things. Every single bite, so lit it. Got my whole crew doing that thing. Crispy onion, sweet onion sauce. Pepper jack cheese, going on.
Introducing the new Sweet Chicky Chicken Sandwich at KFC.
Let's get chicky with it.
We came to celebrate IT. Celebrate IT. Send 3 money transfers for a chance to win indeed. Celebrate IT. Life is good, so we say la vie. No la parfait, Monty garçon. Celebrate IT with GK Money Services. Send 3 with GK Money and Western Union for a chance to win. To send free for the rest of the year. 3 lucky customers will win. Follow us at GKMSBAA for more details. Promotion ends May 18th. Western Union.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
What's more likely?
Never say never, but never.
On the Tomlin Drop here in Pittsburgh, PA. What's more likely? Presented by Pella Windows and Doors. Christopher, you've got the floor.
Guys, happy Friday. Happy NFL draft. Great job last night, Rich.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I hate that you were happy last night.
Me?
Let's get this started. Guys, more likely to be the lower number. Week we see Fernando Mendoza this season or the Raiders' 2027 draft slot.
Lower number, the week we see Fernando Mendoza or their draft slot. I will go Fernando Mendoza week we see him.
So you think he does play this year?
I think he plays early because maybe Cousins might not be able to answer the bell.
Oh, interesting.
How about that, Battles?
I like you calling your shot. You know, I like that.
I'm just going to be direct. I mean, but what's more likely? The Raiders choose top 10 again next year? And then he starts later.
Right.
Because they're just going to finally get him in there. Listen, they've got Genty and they've got Bowers for the kid and Linderbaum for the kid.
They could get Denzel Boston tonight.
They've changed out their coach, quarterback, and center, which is kind of rare in the National Football League.
Got to expect them to get a wide receiver at some point as well.
So, yeah, and that's right. You know, that's going down tonight. So,
yeah.
I'll just stick with what my original plan was. I might have just talked myself out. Keep going.
How about this, guys? More likely, top 10 non-quarterback to be Offensive Player of the Year: Jeremiah Love, Carnell Tate, Jordan Tyson.
The top 10 non-quarterback to be offensive player.
Basically, the offensive player is not Mendoza.
Jeremiah Love.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
They have 38 running backs in that room.
I understand.
And a guy who's really good, Tyler Algier.
Arthur Smith is the offensive coordinator at Ohio now. He's not in Arizona.
Okay.
So, Tyler Algier might not, get all the...
I mean, the vulturing.
As much
vulturing works at Arizona, too.
No, and again, we need to see Cam Ward and Tyler Shuck way that say, Bryce Young in year 3 was able to deliver it to Teteroa McMillan. A running back is less ball dependent than a wide receiver. I'll go with the running back and say that's the most likely, certainly since he's that talented, he's that good. Chris.
TJ, do I take him early in my fantasy draft? What do I do?
You might want to.
Guys, more likely to be the more head-scratching first-round quarterback pick.
Oh, that's easy.
Ty Simpson this year or Michael Penix in 2024.
Well, I'll go Penix.
Really?
Yeah. I'll go Penix. Let's see what Ty Simpson. I'm not going to.
You're not going to see anything of the Ty Simpson this year.
Exactly. Maybe 2 years.
Yeah, I'm not going to damn the kid
I said
now.
2 years.
I'm just not going to do it.
It's not about damning him, though. It's about.
It is.
Again, like Greeny said, it's not about the player.
It is about. I didn't want to get too deep in it. Of course, it's about the player.
No,
it's about the player.
No.
I disagree. You host the draft.
It's about the position and the location of their pick.
If Ty Simpson had the entire world saying about him what Dan Orlovsky said about him, if he had a resume of significance, we wouldn't be batting an eyelash.
So why didn't the Jets take him?
Because why didn't they take him at second overall?
Yeah, if he's that good and he has as good a tape as Mendoza and Orlovsky and all these other people are pumping, why didn't he go second?
Because he's not. That's why I'm saying it's about the player. It's not about, the fact that you... All right, let's move on.
Okay, great.
We're just not going to agree on this one.
Correct.
We're not going to agree.
Right.
All right, TJ, this is for you.
Oh, me?
Penix is already hurt. He had a lot of questions about why we would draft him is because he's been injury prone. It's in his knees too, and it happened. It happened. He didn't even play a full season.
I was pretty stunned when Penix and Simpson last.
Yeah, and Tua's there right now. Look out.
I think Tua's going to play well.
Right, do too.
Yeah.
Guys, is it more likely that...
So I just gave you my reasoning, and you have a problem.
I still don't like it.
Okay, what else? Let's move on.
I hate
Moving on.
Me and Greeny.
Moving on.
Is it more likely Jerry Jones
Yes.
now looks like an absolute genius for trading Micah Parsons, or that was still a questionable trade?
Oh, well.
I don't think it's as questionable anymore.
I don't either. I think Jerry looks like a genius.
I don't know about a genius.
Look at all the guys he's got.
Excuse me. They've done a very good job of turning this lemon into lemonade so far, okay? Rashawn Gary and Kenny Clark and Quinnen Williams. And now they just use the actual first-round draft choice, the first one they got from Micah Parsons, okay, into, their new edge rusher.
Yeah, Malachi Lawrence.
Right? So now they've done that. And they used another first-rounder from the trade to get Quinnen Williams, all right? I like what they're doing.
Sprinkle Caleb Downs on top of that.
But the problem is part of the reason the draft was brought about was this whole weird, you shook my hand in my office.
Yeah.
All right, that's not genius, but it is.
That's ego is what
it is. It's more Rumpelstiltskin. It
worked out.
It turned straw into gold.
True that.
But I don't think it's a questionable deal as much anymore.
No, I don't think so either.
Was Rumpelstiltskin where the girl had long hair and he climbed?
No, that's
Rapunzel.
Oh, my bad.
Rumpelstiltskin turned straw into gold. That's why I said turn straw into gold.
Guess my name.
I can help you with the fables.
Thank you, Aesop.
welcome.
Thank you, Aesop.
You can watch Shrek too.
Yeah, the rich Aesop show.
Aesop Richie.
Okay.
Guys, more likely
With
team...
a dollar sign as the yes?
Obviously.
Okay, very good.
All right, let's reel it in. Guys, more likely team that got the best value with their pick last night. The Bucks, Eagles, or Bears?
What about the Cowboys?
Bucks, Eagles, or Bears?
Bucks took Bears.
Oh, I like the Bears getting Thieneman. I like that a lot.
That's a good move.
What was it, 25?
And as a matter of fact, you want to talk about value. Remember, I used this in the beginning with my top 5.
Bain going to 15.
Based on Daniel Jeremiah's top 150 rankings. And again, when we're pick 150 tonight, we're going to match up the draft to Daniel's.
See how many he gets.
And he's really great at this, okay? The top 13 spots better where Daniel ranked him, the Jets got Omar Cooper, plus 13 value. Okay, they got him 30th overall. Daniel had him ranked 17th. Mekhi Lemon, he had him ranked 12th. He got picked 20th. That's 8. Ruben Bain was 7th on a pick 15th. That's plus 8. Dylan Thieneman is 2nd on this list. He had him ranked 16th. He was picked 25th. That's a plus 9. So I'll go with the Thieneman right there.
And the Bears need safety too.
What else you got?
Guys, more likely New York fan base feeling the best today. Giants, Jets, Bills.
Well, I tell you, it's not the Bills. I mean, unless you want to include their fans that are psyched the Sabres won a playoff game.
I think that counts.
Okay.
Hello, Mike.
The Bills fans are like, wait a minute. We're sitting here ready for 26, and then you trade down, and then we're ready for 28, and then you trade down, and then we're ready for, I think, 31, and then you trade down. Like, what's up?
They got a lot of draft picks now.
What's up with that?
Now they can make moves.
As Mike Hoskins said when I first got here, the Bills drafted Trey last night. I'm like, what? And he goes, Trey down. Like,
oh, hey, Hoskins.
Well, now they have.
I don't know. Hoskins had the dad joke.
And now they
here,
have
right?
9 picks, including 35.
Okay. No, so throw that out.
Right off the bat.
No, Jets fans are.
Yeah,
Jets fans are feeling. Listen, I think the Jets fans are feeling particularly great. They got 3 players. Last time that happened, they hit on all 3. They wound up, getting rid of 2 of the 3. And next year, if the Jets hold on to all 3 of their first-round draft choices, they will be the first team in NFL draft history to have 3 first-round picks and use them in 2 straight years. So they got to feel good about this and feel good about the future. And the general manager who's in charge of turning those picks into people, turning them into David Bailey, Kenyon Sadiq, and Omar Cooper Jr. is a really great, well-done job.
Yeah, I hate that you guys got Sadiq.
Okay. You got any more?
I got a few more. You mentioned these 2 quarterbacks already. I'm sure they were sitting at home having a good night. Second-year quarterback more likely to have the better 2026. Cam Ward, Tyler Shuck.
Good question.
I mean, look at Tyler's receiving core right now.
Yeah, I kind of think it is better than what Tennessee's putting out there.
I think
despite
Tennessee
having Carnell Tate. So I'll go with Shuck.
Okay.
Although Cam Ward, let's just see if he has that year 2 leap with Brian Daboll as well, that's possible. But you're right. I'm taking a look. I mean, there's no. I guess is Ridley the Olave of the equation?
If you're going to pair them up and go against each other, yeah.
Yeah.
Saints might be sneaky.
You just went higher register. What else you got?
Guys, more likely surprising positional